Hi, Billy here from Monster Lake Ranch, where the fish are big and the West is wild. Our lesson learned on the ranch. Preparation is key. It's time to winterize the ranch, the rancher said. It was still warm, and I wondered why he was starting so early to get things winterized. You see, I had no idea what that word meant to a rancher and a ranch. I'm a Florida girl, so winterizing to me means something totally different to you guys out here in the West. My immediate thought of winterizing was putting up my sandals for the cute boots I purchased online, or bringing in the few potted plants from the pool deck, or making room for the outdoor cat inside the garage, or putting away the margarita mix and bringing out the Irish coffee fixings. That's how we winterize in Florida, so you can imagine my surprise when I saw what the rancher and his ranch hands had to do. They made their list together, and one was charged with purchasing the supplies. They then went to work checking all the ranch vehicles and filling them up with antifreeze and non-freezable stuff in the windshield wipers. Every piece of farm equipment had to be made ready for the hard winter that was predicted. And on a ranch, there are many pieces of equipment, and not one of them could be ignored. The costs were too high. The animals were moved from one pasture to another, and some were moved to that place where they became steaks on our plate. Each of the ranch building's heating units were checked out and made ready for the work they would be required to do as the Wyoming winter weather approached. Window units were covered up so the Wyoming winds could not roar inside the buildings. And even before the winter winds came, the challenge was on to keep those covers on from blowing off. I'm still surprised by how quickly Wyoming winds can show up, no matter the season. They are a challenge. Shelters were prepared for some of the animals to get out of the cold and the wind. Hay was strategically placed across the ranch to ensure accessibility when it was time for animals to feed. The water system was checked and rechecked, and the animals were thankful as they watched the ranch hands safeguard their water troughs. Water was turned off unused buildings, and exposed pipes were covered up to keep them from bursting. Snow shovels and ice melt were put by every doorway leading to the snow-packed walkways, and I had hopes that a strong man was planning to stand guard outside my door to shovel for me. Alas, that didn't come, and I had a strange feeling that I would be learning how to shovel snow. Can you imagine a Florida girl with a snow shovel? Windows and doorways were checked to make sure no little creatures could find their way inside, where they could warm their little bodies, munch on the pantry food, and scare the dickens out of me, 'cause mice and me are not compatible. As all this work took place, I realized the lessons I was learning from the winterizing of the ranch. 1, preparation is key. You can't wait until winter sets in to prepare. In life and in business, you must be looking ahead and planning what needs to be done so your machinery doesn't break down or your business doesn't either. And more importantly, your personal life must be prepared for the winterizing effects in your golden years. Be wise and prepare. Many times we procrastinate and think, I'll do that tomorrow, and suddenly you have run out of tomorrows. Did you know it's harder to procrastinate than it is to prepare? 2, cute boots are nice, but they are not essential to survival. Water, heat, and food are necessary to our life source, and if you are spending money on cute boots instead of essentials, you need to rethink your priorities. This pertains to your financial situation in life. What do you need versus what do you want? 3, if you are responsible for others, you need to take responsibility for them. Like the rancher, the animals relied on them for food, water, and shelter. Who do you have responsibility for? Some people around us are in need of help, and if you can help, do it. You might be the only one who can and who will do something about it. This is Billy signing off from Monster Lake Ranch, where her hands are cold and her feet are too, and she's wondering what essentials she needs to survive a Wyoming winter. Maybe the best essential is a ticket home to Florida to see her kiddos and walk on the sandy beaches with her grands. Keep warm, my friends, and might I remind you that ranch life is still the best way to learn how to live in the city and how to run a business.